Hello and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Cheat Sheet, a show that we've created all so that you can pick the right players for your fantasy teams ahead of the weekend's fixtures. All of this information is from official sources, plus it's relevant to all fantasy football games, even if you're not signed up to our very own Dream Team. And don't forget, for those of you who do play Dream Team, you can sign up to our very own coach subscription service. For a one-off fee, you'll get even more detail than what we're giving you in this show. Form guides, predicted points, predicted price changes, fixture difficulty, and loads more. And it looks pretty slick too. You'll find this in the app, or of course, there is a link in the description below. First up, it's the headline news. Like half of Europe, we're heading to Chelsea first. They welcomed both Ben Chilwell and Thiago Silva onto the pitch during their demolition of Barnsley during the week. It took just 17 minutes for Chilwell to register his first assist for the club, of which we're sure there will be plenty more of. We expect both to start in their very winnable game week 3 clash with West Brom. And we're really sorry, Chelsea fans, but Mendy won't be ready for this weekend. I know, don't take it out on me. Even so, we think Lamps will be going with the bald Willie this week. But look, for anyone thinking they're struggling with work or anything for that matter, it could be worse. You could have been the person at Chelsea who sanctioned the £70 million transfer of Kepa. And Ziyech and Pulisic are not fit to play against West Brom, with Lampard saying they won't be ready for another week or two. Reminds me of waiting for my girlfriend to get ready for a night out. Just kidding, I'm incredibly alone. Let's see who we're welcoming into the treatment room. First through the door is Wilfred Ndidi. He might not be a points machine, but his influence on the squad is massive. He missed 5 games through injury last season and Leicester didn't win a single one of them. Big Brendan will be boosted by the return of Johnny Evans though, who will be taking over from Ndidi at the heart of defence. Jimmy Maddison looks like he'll be ready to start away at Man City. The number 10, who's Barnett I'm a big fan of, started his first game during the week since 1st of July. Reguilon is back in training for Spurs, but will not be fit for the weekend, and Gareth Bale is still out. No triumphant return for the Welshman just yet. You Spurs fans will have to wait a bit longer for that special kick-off. David Moyes, Issa Diop and Josh Cullen are all out for West Ham after returning positive COVID tests. Reportedly, Moyes may do the team talk via Zoom, which may be the only case where it's acceptable for the manager to have no pants on in the dressing room too. Mark Noble is back after a toe injury, presumably from kicking the wall in anger after Grady Diangana was sold. And the West Ham owners are also in self-isolation. Not because of COVID, but to protect themselves from their own fans. Burnley are still without me. I know Dyche will miss what I've got to offer, but I'm sure they'll cope. But seriously, Ben Mee is still out and Jay Rodriguez joins him in the treatment room, having rolled an ankle during the week. James Tarkowski is also likely to miss out once again, but Dyche did leave the door open for a shock return. Was he born in a barn? It's autumn now, Sean. But this does mean my fellow countryman Jimmy Dunn is likely to get a run out once again, a bargain for those looking for a cheap option at the back. Leeds Player of the Year from last season, Pablo Hernandez, has been confirmed out for 2 weeks. It means one of Rodrigo or Roberts will deputise. We're going for the latter to start after a bright performance last week. Joe Gomez missed out for the Reds last weekend, with Fabinho having dropped in alongside Van Dijk, but Klopp has said Gomez is back in training and will be ready. Jordan Henderson, on the other hand, is out. Sorry Arsenal fans, but that does mean Thiago is set to start. Wolves' new left wing-back Fernando Marçal limped off after just 8 minutes last week against Man City, being replaced by Ruben Vinagre. Nuno has confirmed that he won't be available for game week 3. Nelson Semedo, on the other hand, has trained every day since signing and could forge the quickest and best right-wing partnership in world football. Let me guess, Andy wrote this bit, didn't he? Yeah. We've seen who's being introduced to the massage table, but who's potentially leaving the treatment room this week? Pep Guardiola, after their late win against Bournemouth, confirmed Laporte is unlikely to return this game week, meaning another run out for the pairing of Ake and Stones at the back. City actually have a pretty lengthy injury list, and the likes of Bernardo, Gundogan, Cancelo, Zinchenko and of course Aguero are all set to miss game week 3. Let's all feel sorry for City, shall we? If only they had the squad depth and financial backing to cope with such problems. Kieran Tierney didn't play last weekend against West Ham or midweek against Leicester after suffering a groin issue. I've been there, buddy. But on Tuesday, Arsenal said the injury was settling well and that Tierney was aiming to resume full training later this week. There was no mention of him in Arteta's press conference, so let's hope no news is good news. Alain Saint-Maximin faces a late fitness test after suffering a twisted ankle against Brighton, which could see Ryan Fraser start in his place. He's already scored for Newcastle against Blackburn and would be facing a Spurs defence that struggled to contain Macedonia's KF Shkendia a couple of nights ago. No offence to Macedonia, I love those movies with the funny animals. The embarrassment of riches for England at right back continues, with Tariq Lamptey bursting onto the scene in game week 2. The cheap defensive option was allowed to flourish in the Matt Doherty-esque right wing back role. He did, however, come off after 60 minutes and was initially classed as a doubt for this weekend. But Potter confirmed he trained on Thursday and will be fit to start. In the opposition camp, Man United are lacking in signings and lacking in results. But as you can see to my left, Aaron Wan-Bissaka started against Luton during the week and is in line to start against Brighton, having missed out in game week 2. Mason Greenwood also came off the bench, bagging a goal and an assist. He looked very lively, by the way. Must have had a nice holiday recently. Baza, you naughty, naughty boy. 125 yellow cards. So, who's on the naughty step this week? There were 3 red cards last game week, 4 if you include Slaven Bilic's head loss. Kieran Gibbs pushed Rodriguez in the face and even threatened to do it again before twirling his moustache and tying a damsel in distress to some train tracks. John Egan will be the notable loss given he's a very popular fantasy football pick. It means Ethan Ampadu is likely to slot in just like he did for the final hour against Aston Villa. But don't rule out a return of Phil Jagielka. Rumour has it if you say Jagielka's name 3 times in a row, Neil Warnock appears. Don't try it. See, we do know what we're talking about, or at least the person writing the script last week did. A Dominic Calvert-Lewin hat-trick and Danny Ings with a brace. 5 goals, so no pressure. First up, Timo Werner. The German averaged nearly a goal a game in the Bundesliga last year, so with no goals in 2, it's highly unlikely that dry spell will extend to 3. In West Brom, he's coming up against the worst defence in the league. The Baggies are averaging 4 goals conceded a game, and they haven't even played one of the big 6 yet. And at 36, it's hard to see Branislav Ivanovic stemming the flow either. With the departure of Diogo Jota, Portugal FC are looking to Daniel Podence to provide pace and width going forward. Only 4 players have more than 1 assist so far, and this little lad is one of them. Although he probably should have scored in game week 2, he'll be licking his lips at the run of games Wolves have in store. It may only be 2 games in, but Everton look very good, don't they? The link-up between Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin and James has got the Toffees dreaming. Shame they're stuck with Jordan Pickford in net, eh? Although DCL stole the headlines against West Brom, the Brazilian looked very lively, getting 2 assists and had a goal disallowed. And he followed that with a brace against Joey Barton's Fleetwood in midweek. Alright, so you're up to speed with who's available. Let's get some predicted lineups coming your way. And I'm not psychic, by the way. I know I look it, but these lineups are based on all the information that we've read. Ultimately, we don't know what the gaffers are thinking, but we've done our best anyway. That's all from us. Hopefully that's given you a lot more clarity ahead of game week 3. One final reminder to those of you who play our Dream Team fantasy football game. We've got a new and exciting subscription service for you this year called Dream Team Coach. It offers projected scores, fixture difficulty rating, projected price changes and loads more if you're looking for that extra detail when picking your team. It's available really easily in the app and there's a link in the description below. Let us know what you thought of the show in the comments. Tell all your mates about us. We're working hard every Friday to give you the most informative video on the internet for fantasy football. And let us know what your teams are going to look like. Have you got any obscure picks? How's your season gone so far? Okay, I'm off. Good luck this weekend.